Yo, this is crazy. When someone told me about what had happened here, I couldn't believe it. I was thinking, there's no way, this has got to be a prank, some sort of April Fool's or something. But to see the devastation that has been done here to this beautiful ancient oak is heartbreaking. Like, this is heartbreaking. Like, this video just doesn't do it justice of how big this tree is. This tree has got a diameter at breast height of 6.1 meters. 6.1 meters. That, don't let the video be deceiving. That girth around that tree would take probably 5 to 6 people's arms wrapped around that. This is an ancient oak in the heart of Enfield. Like, Toby Carvery is there, Whitewebbs. This is Whitewebbs Park. There is no reason whatsoever why this beautiful specimen, this tree is between 300 and 500 years old. I mean, look, you can just see the tiny pockets of potential habitat. Look there, look at the moss up in there. Look at all of these tiny little cavities and these little spaces for insects and vertebrae and birds. Literally just watch the bird just fly out from here, like, just literally just flew out. And if you just stop, can you hear that bird song? I hope you can. Now, without trees like this, there's no bird song like that. Can you hear that? That is beautiful. That is why people, this is what London needs. These pockets of greenery are essential for our outdoor communities to enjoy these spaces. Now, it takes hundreds, if not thousands of years to have woodland behave like this, to have these enjoyable, safe, clean spaces for families to be able to go through and enjoy and just breathe this fresh air. It doesn't exist much in London anymore. If someone thought this tree was not safe, then they should put a fence, a halo fence around the outside to stop people from going underneath the tree with a few signs. It's been done in a few places in Enfield. This is was one of Enfield's most iconic trees. This is so sad. I really hope we get to the bottom of finding out who did this, who instructed it, who gave permission for it to be done. We need trees like this. These are historical parts of our community. And for someone to have instructed some tree surgeons to cut it down to this, to a stump, I think they carried out the works on the 3rd of April. So it was the beginning of this week. And it wasn't brought to the attention of us as local businesses, as arborists, as ecologists, and even the local authority were not notified about it until off. Now, before we start peppering up the local authority and the tree officers and all the people who work in the local authority and say that someone's lined their back pockets with what, I'm not here for that conversation. I personally know the tree officers in Enfield Council, and I know that they work day and night to protect trees like this from this stuff happening. I know that. And could it have had a TPO on it? Absolutely. But you can't go around just slapping TPOs on every single one of these trees around here. And there are some beautiful specimen trees around here. These are publicly owned trees. So you don't necessarily need TPOs on them, because the local authority should have been notified about these works being done. And then Chris Langdown, who is the principal tree officer for Enfield, would have come down, had a look at the tree work, what was being requested on its merit, and would have said absolutely not. And I know that for sure, because I know of the tree off. Thor's Trees are one of London's most respected tree surgery companies, and I've got relationships with most tree officers in and around the London area, and they don't allow this stuff to happen. They take great pride in the professional work that they do. And okay, maybe it's a little bit too late now, but he has put a TPO on this tree. So all works has stopped, and they've opened up an investigation. This is criminal damage, and they're going to be pressing charges on whoever has done this work as the investigation unravels for criminal damage. This was registered on the Woodland Trust's ancient tree inventory. This tree was registered by Mark Saunders. This tree was nationally significant. Compared to I don't know if you guys remember, the massive kick up when the Sycamore Gap got felled. Do you remember the Sycamore Gap tree? It went all over the national tabloids. It was huge. It was one of the most renowned, iconic trees. You know, I think it appeared in some movies and stuff like that. This tree has more economical value than what that tree has. Just to put it in perspective. What we've lost here is heartbreaking to the community. Yeah, I mean, like, all I'm going to say is we need to do better. We need to be a community that are ambassadors for nature, true ambassadors for nature, people who appreciate, love, and want to protect these green spaces, because it's only a matter of time that, you know, if we allow these people to keep doing what they're doing, continuously breaking down these beautiful pockets, these national treasures, these green spaces that belong to the public. What kind of community would we live in? Some of these trees has been here for generations of generations of generations. The things that these trees have seen over the last 300 to 500 years, that is crazy. There are not many oaks like this in the UK, let alone London, let alone Enfield, let alone Whitewebbs. To have this, what used to be standing here. Oh man, this is a sad day for UK trees. And I'm really hoping that this post instigates change, brings the conversation around the importance of protecting these national treasures. If we keep letting this stuff happen, we are not doing right by nature, and we will lose all of this stuff, and it will only take maybe 1, maybe 2 generations, and we'd be having to go abroad to see communities and environments and woodlands that are special like this one, like Whitewebbs. And there are many other little pockets. There are so many woodlands in and around London and around the UK that we need to make sure that we protect. It's within the public's best interests. Let's just look at, let's do less of this. Let's try and get to the bottom of what happened here. And we need to start protecting these trees and holding people accountable for decimating and destroying and stealing these beautiful national treasures that have high ecological value, high community value, high amenity value. This needs to stop.